Good morning, Reza. Nice meeting you again. How have you been?
Good morning, Soonja. I'm doing great. Nice to see you again.
You're looking great.
Thank you so much. So do you.
Thank you. Okay. So today we are going to just chat about your changes since you started the quantum healing hypnosis session. So I
Yeah,
remember that it's been a couple of years or something.
yeah, it was near the, I believe, almost 2 years, 2 years ago.
Oh, okay.
That
Mm.
was the first session I had with you. Somehow the
Mm-hmm.
journey has started from that point.
Oh, okay, that's nice. So when you came for a QHH session, remind me why you want to have a QHH session then?
Yeah, the reason was from long ago when even if I was in the happiest state of the times, if the truck or like a fire truck, anything, or ambulance passing, I start to feel tears coming from my eyes. And I didn't have any clue. And by the whatever we're hearing from the hypnosis, all the time I like to have a hypnosis to find out why the reason is even if I be happy, but as soon as I hearing this noise, the tears start coming on my like a chill down from my eyes. And also I start to get familiar with the life after life because that was a probably COVID time, everybody sitting home and we had nothing to do. I start listening the couple of books from the Dr. Newton, and also after that I started searching about the hypnosis. I couldn't have any success to get the session with the practitioner of the Dr. Newton. Then when I checked the internet again, suddenly that was actually very funny for me. For a couple of months I checking the internet, it's never came up on my screen the dollar scan or quantum healing hypnosis techniques. But suddenly when I came off that field and said, okay, nobody in Dr. Newton can do the session with me. I checking and Googling and the quantum healing hypnosis came up and the dollar scanning. And I start to studying and listening. And that was amazing. It's every moment she talking about all the aspect of her works and whatever happening, it's like I absorbing it by myself. It's not something only to listen to chewing my time. That was actually, it's like my body listening to everything and I enjoy it from inside. And that was the reason I start to searching and I find only the quantum healing hypnosis practitioner level 3 we have is you in the like Toronto area and the GTA and the Ontario, if I want to call it. And that's the reason I made a appointment with you. And that was the my luck. I start to have this session with you and everything start to going on after that. The somehow new chapter of my life starts.
When you are saying new chapter versus old chapter, what would you say the new chapter has been?
The chapter, if I want to be honest, I wasn't the spiritual guy at all. I don't say because sometimes say if I'm not a spiritual, I'm the other opposite way. No, I was the guy. I believe in a God. I respect all the religions because I grow in the Muslims and I grow as a Muslims in my mom country. But the reason I'm saying is I start to see, and I believe the life after life, but the way the religion believe they believe it the way, okay, by the time we're dying, we're gonna go to the wandering and we have to wait, whatever, like a general belief, and we're gonna wait until the judgment day come, and in the judgment day, they start to calculate, okay, how many good, how many bad, and they give you a score at the end, and they send you to the place you're supposed to go according to your score. But the new chapter start because I hearing and it was in my background about the Buddhism or a Hindu or somehow I didn't believe much this stuff. I thought they are good, but maybe not accurate because I said I had a very strong religion background and I as a like a practice I was the still I am the chemist and I'm a numeric guy and it's hard for me. 2 plus 2 is a 4 for me, according to whatever I study in university. But when I look at it in the this path, I see it's not completely 2 plus 2 is 4. Sometimes 2 plus 2 gonna come 1,000. But I say it's, but in the mathematics and whatever knowledge and science we have, it's call it differently. And that was a point, is change me. But I'm saying during this change, it's almost 2 years past from that point. I see a lot of changes coming to me too. It's exactly the way that Dolores Cannon explain it. It's like when you have a baby, you start feeding the baby with the milk, then slowly start to giving him some like cereals, then veggies, then a little bit solid food. You don't put the steak front of the baby because baby gonna die right away. And that's happened to me too. They start to releasing a little bit information. It's like somehow the life go. And the most important part, the session I had with you, the first one, it's I got a very good healing through that session, because me, my mom, and my grandma and a couple of her sisters, all of us used to suffering, I used to suffering from the asthma. And that's something really we're suffering, and especially I'm in construction in Canada, and every dust gonna cause me a headache, and even I need a popper a lot of times for months and months to reduce the side effects. But the session, when it's done, at the time we're talking together, I can say even under the second, one picture came to my mind, eyes, as like a tent, but I couldn't recognize it as a like an Indian tent or the Arab people tents. But I saw and I felt the fire catch that tent. But the feeling was over there. My mom, my grandmother, and a couple of her sister was under that tent, and all of us dying. And then later on, when I go to the course to study this quantum healing hypnosis techniques, I see the way they're teaching you. If you have a suffering from the, like if you have asthma or some diseases like that, in one point in this life, or there's any moment in the past life, you suffer from the lack of oxygen, like you passed in a fire, or you drown, or in a mine you bury under the mine, something caused that. And that's the reason it's like a scratching of that painful moment. It's gonna stay on the, if I call it like a DVD or CD of the life, it's gonna scratch it. And technically we shouldn't carry it over, but sometimes because it's a painful, we carry it over. And as a garbage bag, the dollars can explain it. We bring it life to life to life. But this first session I had with you, that was amazing. It's completely, my asthma got healed. Until this moment, even if I have any issue, okay, everybody gets sick, we have a throat, we have a flu or something, or we need to clean the throat. But to be asthma, to go under the like puffer or the heavy medication, no, it's never came back to me. And that's a something, that's a funny, I was non-believer, but when that's happened, even didn't make me believe, but it start to pushing me and make a ding in my mind. You know what? Let's listen again. It's a something else. And that was a moment, it changed me a lot. And after that, it's bring me the session, because we had a type of the middle of the session, we know we have like type of the meditation. It's make us go down and more like a cool and calm. And I believe that meditation and the energy I got after that, and the healing happened after that through my energy field, it's caused me it's changed the old version of the Reza to the new version of the Reza. This version is changed so much, even it was hard for myself to understand it, or hard for the people around me, as my family too, because the Reza was worried about a lot of stuff, about the life, about the money, about anything. As a regular human being, it changed. It didn't reduce the headaches I had in the life, or still coming, some of them, as a lesson or experience, but it reduced the effect of me to that one, respond of me. My respond became very more smoother, very more softer to that. And that change was so big, it was hard for a lot of people to believe it. This is a new version of the Reza. And it caused me some, I couldn't say headache, but that was part of my lesson. I'm sure I believe it on that way. And that caused me like, okay, even they say, oh, you are out of your mind, or why? Because I never done meditation in my life. I know when I'm tired, I have to sleep, I have to take a shower, but any aspect as meditation, I never had in my life. But I start to do some meditation, not like a monk, not like somebody do a professional meditation or somebody know, but I start to duplicate whatever the people's does to see how can I calm myself down, and that's work amazing on me. And that was something that you are the person opened that doors for me and led me inside that garden. But how much I walk in the garden, that's belong to everybody, and that's something personal, how much capacity I have and how much energy I have and I want to spend to walk through this garden of the, I can call it a spiritually, sometimes I call them like the people above my head or a team, but I know in the religion we have the same aspect too. In Christian, we believe we have angels coming with us as the guardian angels or the guides, we call it, or different names. They coming to help us, but this help, even especially for me, I say it's not the help to stopping you, but they bring you the idea back and forth. That somehow they push you and drag you back to let you know to find that the answer or the way is the best for you. But sometimes as a human, we plug with a lot of stuff around us, and we are so busy with the regular life, we cannot hear them or we ignore that. But either or, I know it is part of the life we go through it, and that's a part of the lesson of this life for us. And that was something happened through your hand, and I'm really appreciated for that.
Well, wonderful changes you have had. Now, even you wanted to learn QHH, the practitioner thing, and you learned it, right?
Yes, absolutely. That was one of the questions we asked in my session, and it came. Yes, that's a very good field if I want to start to be in it. And you gave me very amazing idea. Especially, you gave me the links to I get this course plus with a discount for this course, and that was amazing. And I start the course, and when I start the course, I can see it's dragging me in and sucking me in the system. It's no motivation even from me. And the nighttime I come from the work, I sit on the computer because that was a COVID, everything was online classes. And I done this course until 1 or 2 a.m. And then after that, according to the quantum healing hypnosis system we have, we know we need to do some certain of the like a session to able to release or to give us the certificate. And I done it. And again, I believe I had one session with you. And I think in the 2 months, 2 months and a half, I registered for the level 2. And that's somehow another level start on me. And that was really great. And I appreciate it for whatever you done for me. Thank you.
You're very welcome. We are here to help each other. And now you have become a QHHT level 2. So what kind of experience have you had as a practitioner?
And that was something I can tell until I didn't become a practitioner and I had a session with you. I see the hypnosis I can see it's a new change, but until the moment the people under your hand doesn't go in the trance, you're not going to believe it. The feeling is start really absorbing me in with that moment. The first client or first friend I had, and I did a hypnosis, and I did exactly according to whatever the dollar scan is saying in her courses. I done that one, and I see the people start to go to hypnosis and start seeing stuff, and it's make me really interested. And this is it's because I know I need to have a 25 session to get my like a certificate. And I start to ask the friends. I put advertising on the internet to people's coming for free session because by that time we couldn't charge, and the people start coming. And I see a lot of stuff. For example, I had a client, the lady was the young lady, and she had a lot of experience about the, she feels she has extra like spiritual stuff on her. And during a session, she saw exactly why, where, and for which reason. And even the lady had, for example, some pain sometimes in her right shoulders. And she saw the reason of that right shoulders, because that's a funny part. She's a Canadian, I can say, I don't say the name, but she's a Canadian people's. But whatever she saw, it's back to the history of my mom country, the life I'm in it now as a Iran, and we have the people over there, and she saw herself as was a slave over there. And that's a pain because they put something on the shoulders of that slaves. And then after that, it came, I had clients coming maybe 6 7 times to explore more of their life. And in one point they start to see all the dots like a web connected together, because as a Muslims, when I study the Muslims, we have this one in the Quran, means nothing happening without the God permission. No leaves gonna fall from the trees. And it's hard to understanding when they teach you by that time, but when I came to spiritual, I saw and I felt it. That's 100% true. Even the worst thing as a human we think happening to us or to the others, that was a part of the lesson or part of the contract or part of the karma. We have to go through it. And the best way we can save, because sometimes the lesson is hard for us, we have to align ourselves to whatever the higher self we have, write that contract for us. And as much as we can be more aligned to this contract, the life become easier for us. Because I know as whatever I passed during these 2 years, and I believe it still, I am personally, I'm gonna grow more and gain more knowledge about this, because has a one time from one of the spirit guys, I asked, what's the limit or end point of this? It said it's a no limit, sky limit. It's not limitation in it. It means as much as you want, you can go. It's like a balloon. As much air you put in it, you can go higher and higher and higher. But the way we go higher in the spiritual, it's going to make us more calm and actually make us more, I can say as a human, better human, I can say, as a physical appearance. But sometimes this changes is so big, it's very hard for the people know you before they believe it, this person turn to this new version of that person. That's a big changes. I can say the miracle is that point. You can see the person is changed and is acting completely different than what he was. No scare, no nervous, everything became calm. That's a life. And that's a very important thing during this spiritual path I started to walking through. It came to me is we don't die. We leave this body. This body is as a vessel, or this body as a vehicle we can use in it, but in as a consciousness or that part running this vehicle, by the time we have to leave and departure this body, or we call it death, we will come out of this body, but this consciousness is still going to be alive. It was alive from before and going to alive in future too. It not belong. It's when I make it as example for my clients, I can call it in, for example, when you look at this life you're driving to Utah Route 4, but the next life you're going to drive the, for example, Porsche. The life after that, maybe you're driving a bicycle. Who knows what your higher self wants from you as experience to learn. And that's the things, it's coming to us, but the best way is we accept whatever coming and we work toward to achieve all the aspect of the higher self wants from us to make the life smoother and easier for us.
Wow, what a wisdom. You talk as if an old saint is talking about. So main thing about you've learned is such a wisdom that you have. You appreciate the life. You accepted the lessons that you are going to learn without any resistance. That is
Absolutely.
a huge understanding once we have this session. Whereas
Absolutely.
before, people resisted, why me? And they think they are the only one who is having trouble. Why, pointing fingers to someone else. However, as you experienced it, we all come to realize that we are the one who set the lessons for, and we are learning it without resisting, accept it with gratitude. Wonderful learning you
Absolutely.
have.
Thanks.
Wow, I am so happy for your what they call progress. We are
That's right.
always
Thank you
in
so much.
progress.
Absolutely.
The
It's
spirit,
no end for it.
no end for it, that is for sure. Beautiful. So now, what is your plan for the future or the coming near future? What's your plan
The
as far
plan is
as
tech.
spiritual growth?
Yeah. The plan is technically, as a human, we have a life we live here, and that the spiritual life is merged and inside us to give us the motivation to move. For me, after I done the quantum healing hypnosis level 2 practitioner, 1 year after that, I study something because I want to see what else more in this field I can dig and go forward. I start to get familiar with something the teacher teaching it as a Dr. Cielo, and that was the something about the how you can be a psychic. Because sometimes when we hear about the psychic, we think whoever can connect it to the spirit life and see the whatever is in the room, we are not able to see it as a regular human. That person is a psychic. Yes, that's 100% true. That's part of the psychic and a vision people has. But to be a clairvoyance, it's not only see the stuff you see, because all of us, they are clairvoyants or we are psychic. When I ask the people, okay, can you imagine the red apple? As soon as they can imagine the red apple, they are psychic. It's a something as a Homo sapiens come with us, and we have it inside us. And I start to study that field too, because that course has a like a clairvoyance 1, clairvoyance 2, and I finished the clairvoyance 2 about maybe half a year ago. And during that course, I start to, because the spiritual parts bring me in the through the quantum healing hypnosis techniques, bring me to the very vast and big, like I can say I came to the garden of the universe. But because I'm a 3D person and I'm a human and I'm a Reza, it was hard to anchor myself to one point. Somehow the next level and education through the Dr. Cielo Golden Roses psychic services and that academy he has, it's tell us about this one, and I can anchor myself to see what's happening, what's coming, and I can see, okay, even me, that's one of the words I said in that class, because I couldn't see, I couldn't read. That was my thoughts. And I told in the class to my classmate, if one day Reza as a person start to be a psychic, reading the others and see the stuff we're supposed to see through that like techniques, it means everybody can be psychic. And the answer of my teacher was, you know what? You have a lot of picture in your field. That picture from before doesn't let you see what is coming. A lot of this picture we can see through the quantum healing hypnosis techniques. That's exactly, I call it like a surgery of the soul. It means you open the soul, the higher self open it, and us as a practitioner sitting, listen to the story and find the like every corner for that person. But technically, the higher self open the soul, bring the stuff stuck in the soul, and don't let that person go. And I believe it when somebody go to the session after the session in the hypnosis, they can take more stuff stuck inside the actual us as a like a memory or a picture. We bring it like with us from different lifetimes. We call it garbage bag, as a dollar is saying. But in these techniques I learned through your meditation, you start to see the like other stuff coming, and in the meditation you can reach to the point similar to the hypnosis. But as I ask through your session, is the meditation can be same as the hypnosis? The higher self answer was yes, can be same as that, but with the hypnosis, the person can ask you exactly open which door, close which door, go where, or go somewhere else. But in meditation, somehow it's harder to embrace that energy, to go to find details. Because in the quantum healing hypnosis, we can find the very small details. But through your meditation, you need to be somehow, it's taken longer time. You need to be very expert to go for the details. But as a general, if somebody want to find out what's going on, what's the reason of this issue, why has a feeling about this person, or any question, the fastest and the easiest is come through the hypnosis. And whoever is a practitioner, they can find it out better for him, rather than the person spend the time to raise his like a clairvoyance, clairaudience, or clear cognize, whatever psychic version he has. That's the fastest way for the general to use this. And that's a part of my life. I'm going through this, and it's became every day smoother, and somehow the life start get, I can say, the different aspect of life coming to me. The one of the most important part is we believe it, we can forgive the others too, because a lot of stuff as a barrier, we couldn't forgive the peoples, no matter what they've done. That I can understand it now as a lesson. The lesson can be anything, but that's something we need to learn this lesson, and we can forgive the people. We can pass, and that's a time the big barrier gonna get open in front of us, and we can go forward faster and smoother.
Wonderful, because after all, as you have done several QHH sessions, with not only the wisdom, we understand we are all one of the entire cosmos. So every single one of us make it all cosmos itself. So therefore, when I hurt someone, it's actually I'm hurting myself. That's what the realization we all come to it. So therefore, love and forgiveness are always the most important quality that we have to practice. That I'm just learning from higher selves of clients. I'm just quoting. And then the more we do the sessions, the more we become wiser, and our understanding of forgiveness, capacity of loving each other becomes so vast without us trying too much. That's my finding.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So
Absolutely.
now in the future, am I going to see Reza, the channeler, coming?
Not really. The life I'm going through it, I don't want to be a channeler to channel the other beings, because I believe it. All of us is connected, but really, that's a part of the life. We're gonna go. One of the, I can say, the most important, because even the channel, we have two aspects. That's this life driving by the love energy and the fear energy. These two energy can create a lot of stuff beside it. If I'm gonna run with love energy, the most and valuable for me is to help the others and somehow start to raising the other peoples up. Part of the channeling is to raise the others. Why the other being from different, like a plants or different dimension or whatever we call it, they're channeling us because they want to help us. They want to give information to fix something. We can fix it easier rather than go down the road. Then after the certain years or decade or 100 years, we find out, oh, that was a mistake, or we're destroying something. The reason they channel is because they want to help. But to me as a Reza, I'm not sure exactly what my higher self wants from me. But probably if the higher self write the contract for I be a channeler, maybe I do the channeling. But in this point, whatever coming to me, I feel it is mostly to help the others, because I know in some part of the energy field I mimicking now and I bring it from before is to helping the others as a kids or has some type of the, I don't know how that's going to happen in this point I talk with you, but going to be type of the, I know in one of the session came up as a like a it's now it's became more clear. It's like an academy or something, but for the kids are somehow refugee kids. The kids nobody else wants them. The kids somehow the society or the system put them as a side or mark them as this kid is this one, that kid is this one, but this type of kids. That's a something I I have that energy and I can feel it. It's coming to me to run with the rest of the peoples is around me to able to friend or the family we have to be able to run something like that to be to align us to helping the humanity and bring the system up as a vibration as an energy wise. But whatever coming in future beside this, I'm not aware of that, but I know because whatever we're hearing nowadays in the internet and all over the people's mouths, they talking about the ascension and the energy of this universe changing. Somehow we shifting from the one level to the higher level, and when we shift to the newer one, the a lot of things coming beside it too. It's more awareness or the kindness. Somehow we go to the level. We need the energy of the heart, and the color we're gonna run it is gonna be green. But the matter of all this is we need to love each others, and through this love, but this love shouldn't be the way we donate and we somehow salvage ourselves too much to the others, because one of the important law in the life is we care about ourselves too. It means we keep the balance between ourselves and how we can donate to the others, because we need to keep moving forward, same as the rest of the peoples. And that's something probably I'm going to move toward it. Plus, I'm in a construction and I'm going to see what's going to coming through the construction, because still in the as a 3D life we need the money and we need to run this financial system and feed ourselves.
That is absolutely great point, because we have a body, we have to feed, we have to pay the expenses, right? So
That's
which is
absolutely
good,
right.
that construction will keep you busy. But you were just mentioning that you want to help these children coming from refugee. So your country has a lot of refugee coming.
Yes, the country, the Iran actually, in this moment, we don't have a much refugee, but from the country around us, around my mom country, like Turkey, now that's the Ukraine parts, it's happening. That's a lot of
Mm.
refugee kids coming. And one part of that academy or whatever, it's coming gonna happen in future according to whatever the contract my higher self writing for me and the others, because a lot of people is gonna be involved of this. It's not only me.
Mm.
That's gonna be the people, the kids with the disability, for example, the kids with the
Mm.
syndrome of the Down or something in the similar. It means that I know that system helping these kids, but somehow helping from the spiritual part to make the life of these kids easier too. Because technically, I know whoever accept to be a kids with some disability or some issues, that kid accept a very hard lesson. They
Mm.
accepted to learn it through the very hard path to learn this lesson. And that's something I want somehow dedicate myself to helping to be part of this system, to helping these kids to learn the lesson a little bit smoother.
Wow, that's a wonderful idea. So that do you organize did you create organization name or something so that when people listen your story, they might want to donate their time and love and the financial means? Where can they
Mm,
do such a thing?
in this moment, I didn't, because I need to somehow like a foundation. I setting up the foundation for
I
that,
see.
but gonna be a non-profit organization, but it's gonna
Mm,
coming very soon up. In this moment, that's a funny. I have a logo for that. It came to me,
I see.
but I don't have the actual name or the like system to running as a paperwork. But the
Mm.
idea and energy is there. We're waiting for a little bit more to all the foundation somehow get more set up, and then we work toward the rest of the to build to if I want to make it as a construction aspect, to build the rest of the building up. We are in the foundation
Wonderful.
part yet.
Oh, wonderful. So when things are ready, you let us know so that we can put it up on the information. And when people wants to donate, as we mentioned before, they certainly know where to go, right?
Sure, absolutely.
Because we
Absolutely,
help each
Soonja.
other, especially young people. They need the guidance, and especially people have a physical, mental handicap. They really need our help, the grown-ups, right?
Absolutely, Soonja. That's true.
Wonderful. I am so happy to hear that. What a progress you have made during just 2 years.
Yes. Thank you so much. But still, it's a lot of path remain to go. But the
Of
most
course.
important is the peace came to me. I can call that.
Wonderful. So when we are going through difficult time, the higher self of client always said the same thing. When things are really hard, that means first, we chose that lesson. Second, that most difficult process of their life gives us the most important lesson to us for long. So that is what they say. So what do you find in your life that words?
Absolutely, that's true because I can call it that way. This when when the exam is because it's coming to me this way. When you have exam, when you want to graduate in the like elementary school, they ask you a certain question. When you want to graduate it in a high school, this question gonna be hard, not harder, but according to the level you're gonna achieve. If you want to be like a master or the bachelor or philosopher, they're gonna ask the question related to the philosophy. But the hard part is, Sanja, it's happened to me. When your knowledge is, I can say it, when your knowledge is about the high school, and I can call myself, and you stupid asking for the like bachelor degrees, and they put the question of the bachelor in front of your eyes or the higher level, it's going to be really hard to answer. It's need a lot of effort. You go a lot of up and down to pass this exam and learn it. Because with the moment I start, because I never was until my 42 years old in a spiritual path. I believe in a life. I believe in it to be a good human, to help the others. But this aspect of a spirituality, I wasn't in it. But when I started, somehow, I don't say I started late. Probably that was a contract. I need to start it from that point. But I can tell you that one as a joke even sometimes. I was stupid enough with the knowledge of the high school. I jumped for the university degrees, and that caused me a lot of headache. One of the headache happened is my personal life. It's happened to my personal life because me and the mother of my kids, we start to having a different path from each other's, and it caused us to be separated, and we are in the process of the divorcing now, and it's hard for her and it's hard for me too, but somehow we're reaching to the moment it's the path, it's too wide from each other's. You never can make it happen because, and I respect the idea of everybody, even I don't say, because sometimes the people in when you talk with the conversation, they come like, oh, you think now you're a spiritual, you came better person or something in that aspect. It's not really to be a better or a worse. It's about I start walking to the path. It's like I don't want to, for example, I change my diet, I want to be a vegan, I don't eat meat again, but it doesn't mean the meat is bad or good. In one point, a lot of people need to eat the meat, but I make the decision to be a vegan. And in the life is like that. It's as a human, it's really hard to get separated or a divorce when you have 3 kids, especially with the smaller kids in your family home too. But when you look at in the aspect of like a different, a little bit zoom out and you look at it, you see sometimes maybe it's look hard, but the result at the end point is a different than the result if everybody go to the same path. And that's I said It's like sometimes I know the people divorcing and that's a lot of up and down, but really it's a change of sometimes the karma is done. We don't need to continue the same lesson again and again and again. It's because we're coming. Sometimes the people living together forever. That's a part. It's sometimes the younger people or the people's, especially nowadays with this new energy we have, and we can see it as the time flying faster nowadays. The older time was slower, and I can see that was a long time to be noon, then afternoon. But now closing eyes, you see it's 2 o'clock p.m. Then again, you get busy, you see the time, it's 9 p.m. in a bedtime or something like that. That's the reason everything happening with the faster speed now. It's like the energy try to put the peoples with the same thoughts, same energy, and same vibration in a together as a group. The separation of the group getting faster. I can say it that way, and that's nothing bad to it because it's a lot of changes happen. But from my personal life, I can see it for me or for hopefully for the kids and everybody, the result is this better way because we can walk different path. I know I picked the path of the spiritual, and I believe we don't die, only we leave a body. But still, we have a lot of people in this life. They believing if we dying, it's gonna everything gonna be end, and that's one of the hardest part. As a human, yes, it's hard to lose somebody you love for long times. But if you look at it from the aspect I'm looking, if the person doesn't die, only leave a body. We have access to all the loved one through the, even we can talk to them, we can pray to them, and they can come through our like a dreams. We can see them and we can talk with them. We are not separate from them, but we are so tied up in the life sometimes we are not able to see or feel or hear them. Only that's a reason. Somehow they broadcast on 98.5, but our radio station is 92.5. That's a reason we cannot hear whatever they're saying or whatever advice coming to the loved one we have.
Wonderful, because every time that we all go through the changes of the relationship, the higher self is always said the same thing that I'm hearing from them. They're saying your duty to be together as a partner is completed. The purpose of the partnership has been to create the children. That was quite often the answer I'm getting from them. So once, as you mentioned, the karma is done, then it is always good to depart with the blessings to each other, because they have been very important person one time, but now things have changed. We are embracing the new changes.
Absolutely
So,
right.
yeah, so we are hoping the best result for everyone is involved in the process for every relationship changes.
Absolutely.
Wonderful. I'm so happy that you are handling your life quite wisely. Quite pleasant to see that.
Thank you.
Anything else would you like to add?
Nothing really specific. Thank you so much for your time. We talked together and for your amazing session, because I can say sometimes the energy you have and I can say the good heart you have and running in your system, it's helping a lot for the session, people's coming to you. Even me as a practitioner level 2, I can say only the person I can feel comfortable and do my like a session is you. Maybe it's once in a while, but still only the person I can come and listening, and the way you handle your session is amazing. And that was somehow I put it in front of me as a somebody elite ahead of me, and I look at you and I try to somehow in my session duplicate and follow some path you go through. But thank you so much for everything, Soonja.
I want to add as well, you are an excellent client, and you go in deep trance and get all the wisdoms from your higher self. It is such a joy to conduct the sessions and facilitating your questions. As you mentioned before, the benefit of having QHH session is having facilitator, person like you and I, helping other people to ask and get more detailed questions. I believe one time your higher self said, You can see the tree, but you don't see, no, you can see the forest, but you don't see each trees. So therefore,
right.
having facilitator, people like us, you and I, we can help people to go into each tree, all the reasons of it, the details, yes?
Absolutely.
That's the beauty of having facilitator, people like us.
Absolutely, Soonja. Absolutely. And thank you so much for all your time and energy.
I am so
And I
happy
call
to hear your
myself as
progress.
I'm call myself as a lucky guy because sometimes as a something at the end, when I do the session for my clients, I call myself as a lucky guy sitting beside the people and hearing their life story. Sometimes the lesson they're telling me is the lesson I need to watch for myself too. I know somebody go 2, 3, 4 life to learn simple lesson and no bad about it, but we redo the lesson again to like finish the book we're studying for everyone. And that's something I said, even be a practitioner, and if you follow even a slow pace and see the clients, not maybe by daily base, but it's helping me a lot to my path too, because I'm hearing every person how they go, what they done, this is how the result came for them, and that's very important.
Absolutely, because as you're already learning, being a practitioner, I am also feeling very privileged, be in each part of the clients coming in their life story. And then I always see myself, part of them within me. So when they're going through and telling their difficulties, I also can relate part of my own life difficulties. So therefore, it is such enlightening. Session itself is spiritual growth itself.
Yeah,
So we are so lucky helping people, and we are progressing on our path as well, right?
absolutely,
That's
100%.
beautiful. I'm happy that you became practitioner yourself. I'm so
Thank you.
happy to see such a vast improvement in your life.
Thanks,
And
Soonja.
I'm also happy to see you are embracing all things with such a love and compassion.
Thanks, Soonja. Appreciate it. And that was amazing to
Thank
talk
you.
with you.